That is the PEMDAS of static ads. So already we've been doing for what, like 15 minutes? Think about the process in which you're going to approach static ads now and how you're going to do it with a little bit of structure. So niche, product, then angle from pain point, books or resources can go here, and then the research goes here, put it all together. And now we have our perfect prompt cube. We're now going to generate the copy, and just being here helps it kind of see better. So generate copy, we're going to give it a second, and it's going to spit us out some copy that we can use. And now when you see an ad like this, you can make an ad like this and feel good about it. So that is the psychology behind a static ad.
Running down the road, trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind.
Have you ever been doing competitor research and you come across static ads just like this and you think, wow, these look incredible, but when you try to recreate them for your own brand, they look nothing like this? And it's not like you messed everything up, you roughly copied it, but something just looks off. You can get it 99% of the way there, but the 1% never comes together, and you just don't know why theirs looks better than yours, because it's the 1% that actually matters. It's the final cherry on top. Well, I think we've all been there at some point in time, and at the end of this video, you're not going to be there anymore. I'm going to solve your problem. I'm the self-proclaimed static ad doctor, in a way. Let me break down the psychology of static ads and how to make a nice-looking static ad, just like the ones you see online. This year alone, we've done over $500,000 in revenue using only static ads. Not one singular video contributed to $1 of that revenue. That is only revenue counted from static ads. So in a way, there is a secret, and no, ChatGPT cannot do it for you. I feel like I always have some sort of proof in a video. I'll use my iPad. All these conversions from all these different brands, only static ads. I'm going to show you how. All right, first and foremost, if you want static ads to replicate into your own brand, you need to find static ads. So we're going to be finding a couple really nice static ads just like these. Now I pulled these from Pinterest. I literally just looked up static ad and it gave me some nice looking static ads, but Pinterest unfortunately has no way to tell if these are actually performing. For all we're concerned, the brand never actually ran these. We don't know. So let's find some nice static ads. I am now on TrendTrack's ad page, and we're going to put a couple of filters in. I'm going to show you guys the filters that I use to find static ads to replicate. So status, everything active, obviously. Days running, I'm going to do minimum 1 month running. Then as far as niche, for this video, we're going to be making health/skincare kind of ads. So I'm going to go beauty and fitness, and then I'm going to deselect fashion and style, fitness, beauty services. I'll deselect beauty pageants, body art, and other, and just have all these. And as you can see, just in face and body care alone, there's 150,000 different little sub niches. So we'll leave it here. As far as the media type, obviously image. And then for the country, we just selected United States. Now we're going to use the ad rank feature. So only ads that are ranked top 5. And then we're not going to mess with any of this. And we have a ton of awesome ads that we know are performing at least decently well. So let's pick a few here. Let's pick this one. Looks kind of cool. Tooth pod. Let me open this up. Okay, I like this. Let's go ahead and copy this image and paste it into our mirror board. And I'm going to double check to make sure this ad's actually performing. I'm going to follow ToothPod and Brand Tracker, and we're going to see how this ad ranks against their other ads. So as you can see, this is their number 3 ads. We can just take a few more here. I'll go ahead and I'll group these by niche. So let's go ahead and copy this one as well. So we'll put it here. That's ToothPod. We'll do these two for ToothPod here. There's the ranks 3 and 4. All right, we can honestly, let's do this one too. Let's do their number 2 ad. Their number 1 is a video, so we're gonna ignore that. But let's go ahead and paste all these in right here. Okay, now we have their 2, 3, and 4 ad, and then we're gonna go back here. We're gonna find one more brand. Let's go ahead and find, this one's kind of cool, nurse approved makeup. Let's open this one. Before I copy this, I'm gonna follow them with Brand Tracker too, just so I can see if this is accurate. Yep. Okay, so this is our number 2 image ad. We go ahead and copy this and then paste it as another brand over here. So we'll do this one, and then we'll do this one as well. Just use the same visual. I kind of want to try to find as many different visuals as I possibly can. And we can even make these ads a little bit better, but these are super high performing static ads, so can't complain. Cannot complain at all. All right, pretty nice. This one is for 153. It was duplicated 6 times. I was wondering why it said running for 1 day, but it was duplicated 6 times. I see. Okay. Keep scrolling and let's find... I know I said I was going to be down to 1, but let's just find one more. Deva curl. This looks pretty sick. Let's open this ad up. See where this ad is. So this is their number 3 ranked ad, and they have a ton. And we are going to use this one and this one. So let's go ahead and copy this ad here. Let's go ahead and copy this one here. And now we have our little by brand collection. So we have these 3, these 2, and these 3 right here. And by the way, if you guys wanted to know if these were actual prevalent brands and not just random ones, this brand right here, the Deva Curl, has running creatives, as you can see, for days upon days upon days. If you look at their ad library and their history of live ads, they have almost 90 live ads right now. And if we look at their shop analytics, they have about 60,000 monthly visits. So it's safe to say they're printed some money here. All right, now we have our static ads. And this is where I want my point to be made the absolute most here. These are, what is this, 8 static ads taken from 3 completely uncorrelated brands, yet they all follow the same rules. You might be asking, Adam, what rules are you talking about? Very basic graphic design rules that you are missing that would make your stuff look so much better if you just paid attention a little bit more. So when we look at all these ads, we see a few elements. They all have the same elements, and this is kind of obvious. So when it comes to ads like this, we have the same exact thing. We have the hook / copy. Then we have the visuals. Then we also have, unrelated, the background on each one. Okay? Visual, hook, background. All right? We can even separate this between hook and then subtext. Hook, subtext, hook, subtext. These are missing a CTA, which is slightly optional in a static ad, so we can ignore that for now. Let's go to these. This is very simple. Check this out. Visual, hook, subtext. Hook, visual, subtext, background, background. Okay, cool. Same thing here. Visual, I'm going to be kind of repetitive here. Hook, benefits. All right? These have the same exact thing. I'm not going to be repetitive, Loki. And then the background here, these 2 things. What patterns do we notice about these high-performing ads? And I guarantee all the high-performing ads, all the high-performing statics I've made could fit perfectly in with this group. I think they'd look a little bit better, to be honest. But what do these have in common? Number 1 is the background. When people make super middle-of-funnel-ish direct response static ads, they get so complex with the background. Yet every single static ad I've ever made has had the same portion in the prompt that I use Kai AI for all my images now. It's had the same sentence in the prompt. No matter how different the prompt is per product, it all says the same thing. Place this in a cream / beige colored studio, because that's always been my brand colors. But here you have a white / teal studio. Here you have a light purple studio. Here you have a mix of pink and brown. This is an odd gradient, yet it's still a simple color. Stop making direct response, middle of funnel static ads. I'm not talking about natives. This is not about natives. This is about middle of funnel ads, converters like this, straight to the product page. Stop getting complex with the background. From now on, every single prompt you type in from now on, I want you to say, put this in a studio, and watch how much better your visuals get. So that's step number 1 in making your stuff better. Please use simple backgrounds. Number 2 is understanding the elements that make up a static ad and where to place them. So these all have the same elements, okay? You have the visual, you have the background, which we just talked about, and then you have the text. And there can be a hook, big text, there could be subtext, and subtext can be placed right below the hook, or it can be placed down here. Now, why in this ad did they not place this text down here, but they did here? Well, that brings us to my next point. Spacing. Spacing is so important. You need to make sure that every element has its respective space. And this is what everybody misses. All of my first static ads had this issue. All the people that I work with, all the beginners that I work with, they send me their first static ad. It all has the same issue. The spacing is very bad. And you'll notice this is very purposeful in a lot of ads like this. Look, the spacing between this and this is almost identical. It's on purpose. Look, the spacing is even. They didn't drag the subtext too low, literally touching his hair, and then have this up here. That would look terrible. And this is the eye that you have to develop when you're making static ads. You have to develop this almost second pair of eyeballs that allows you to see spacing. This text is not too close here. It is just a respectable amount of space. That is all. You just have to understand a respectable amount of space. Here, a respectable amount of space. In a very beginner static ad, you'd see this text all the way brushing up against here. And it seems kind of obvious when somebody says it to you, like I'm telling you not to do this, and you're like, why would I ever do that? But if you were to go make a static ad and you never have, you do it on accident. That's the thing. You don't realize you're doing it. It's all on accident. So now that we're understanding respective space, why in the world would they not take this subtext and put it down here, just like these guys did here? Well, let's check out the bottom of these visuals, here and here. So on the bottom here, what is this? Completely open space. The visual is ended. There is no part of the visual down here. This is open space, fair game to add text. Now a beginner, somebody inexperienced, would go ahead and place this text down here and it wouldn't look good. And you'd sit there going, why in the world does this not look good? I can't put my finger on it. Because when you're making static ads, that's the feeling you get. You don't go, oh, yeah, this looks terrible. I know why. You go, this looks bad and I don't know why. And that's the most frustrating part. And it's because if you were to take this text and put it down here, if you were to take this and put it down here, which this is obviously still a background on this, so you can't see what I'm talking about too much, but this shadow, fun fact, is still part of the visual. So you can't just place this here. It would look bad and it would be messing with your brain because the visual is still involved. You need to respect the spacing. And if you respected the spacing, it wouldn't be here. It would be a respectable amount below the shadow, probably here. And at this point, it looks like a disclaimer message at the bottom. It's way too small. You don't have room for a healthy size while still keeping respective space where the visual ends. So you got to ask yourself, where does the visual end? This one ends right here. What's respective space? Probably about right here is respectable. This one, forget about putting text down here. There's too many colors. Another issue with trying to overlap text with visuals, so many colors in visuals that trying to keep one constant color that contrasts well with all three of these is impossible. So that's why you will never see text down here. You'll only see it up here. And if there was text to the side, you wouldn't see it like this. You'd see it respectably placed, not mushed against the side, not mushed against his head, a cool medium, respective space all around. But look how small this is. We can't have this here that small. So your choice would be move this up and place this underneath where it has respective space, about right here. And then or carry can chew would go, we'll even do this. I just did a direct placement, oops. It would go up here. So spacing. But kind of like how in school you have PEMDAS, right? So you understand in what way to solve an equation. Static ads are the same way. So you have these elements, the background, the visual, the hook, the subtext, and none of these have CTAs, which is kind of annoying, which they have spots for CTAs like down here and over here. Not down here because it's a 9x16 and all the text down here would get in the way, but here's a healthy spot. In what order do you set up the static ad? What's the workflow like for that? Well, the answer is this. Your visual is your anchor. Your visual sets the tone for everything. When I make 20 static ads in a day, 20 good static ads in a day, I follow the same workflow. I make all the visuals first. I make 20 visuals, and I make all different kinds of visuals. I'll make visuals where there's no space on the bottom, but tons of space on top. I'll make visuals, which the majority make this up, where the visual is nice and centered, and there's purposefully tons of empty space above and below. Tons of empty space above and below. Except for here, this ad is technically the same as this ad. This ad is just as much space on the bottom as this ad. It just doesn't look like it. But if you got that special pair of sunglasses on, the special pair of eyeballs, you can understand that these ads are the same visually. It's the same thing. You got just as much space. But beginners would try to place the text down below, and that's why you just can't get it out of your head why it looks off. Because you just don't understand that. It's not your fault, you just haven't learned yet. But this is a very top and bottom kind of ad, super in the middle. These, in your mind, delete all this text, all these shapes. This is a left-aligned visual, which sets all the text up to be on the right, and it leaves space up top purposefully. Why do you think whoever designed this ad didn't just make this bottle giant, because he's respecting the space on top. That's kind of a universal safe zone. Whatever your visual is, you want it to have space up top, an abundance of space. When you guys generate your visuals for static ads, this is what nobody else is going to tell you, and this will save you so much time and money. When you guys are generating your visuals for static ads, please, into your prompt, tell it, I need you to leave space up top. Because when you just ask AI to make you a picture, it's just going to make the picture and it's going to fill up the frame. Because technically, from a photography standpoint, it's ugly to have a ton of empty space up top, which is true. But this isn't photography. You're filling this space up yourself. So you need to, before you even add the text, have the space up there. Start incorporating that into your prompts. See, I said, tell it like a human. I don't use copy and paste prompts. You have to tell it. You have to say, I need you to leave an abundance of space up top. I plan on adding text, and it's going to leave you a ton. So before you even add the text, you need to understand what kind of visual is this going to be. Ask yourself, where is my space going to be? Is my space going to be top only? Is it going to be top and bottom? And if you can't decide, what kind of copy do you want on the ad? Do you want it to just be a very simple ad like this, a very back of funnel ad where it just has one line of text in your offer? What kind of ad do you want it to be? Do you want it to be a super informative ad? If you know, okay, I want this ad to have 8 benefit lines and a giant hook and subtext and a CTA button at the bottom, dude, you better get on that AI and say, I need this visual to be placed in the center. I plan on having a ton of text on the top and bottom, so please leave empty space there for me to fill in. Super important. So the PEMDAS of static ads is visual. Your visual is the anchor. It determines how the rest of the ad is going to look. And then it's your hook. Your hook is the most important line of text on your whole ad. Where is your hook going to go? Make room for it. And then whatever room is left, you can use for your subtext. You can use for your benefits if you have them, like here. And then the last but not least is the CTA button if you have one. Don't just be like, click below for 50% off or whatever. But that is the PEMDAS of static ads. So already we've been filming for what, like 15 minutes? Think about the process in which you're going to approach static ads now and how you're going to do it with a little bit of structure. Because what were you doing before? You were just generating a visual and trying to figure out where text goes on it. That's the problem with a lot of newer people. They will generate the visual and then try to figure out where the text goes, and it never looks good. Know exactly where the text is going to go before you generate the visual. And you can even just use ads like this and then throw them in a KI, which I'm going to make an example ad here in a second. And you can just ask for a direct product replacement. Like I'm going to be using Seed's jar here just as my example for this video. And I'm going to probably just use like this here. And I'm just going to say replace this with a couple seed bottles. And that's what I'm going to be doing here, you know? So, yeah, that was some sauce right there. The PEMDAS of static ads, I've coined that term. This is why your ads look off and you don't know why. Now, we are in that position where we see a static ad like this one and we go, wow, I love this ad. I want to implement this into my brand. Let's pretend that my brand is this, okay? How can I do a great job of carrying this ad over? Well, it's not too difficult. Here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and erase all of the drawing. Oh, it's going to take so long. Make this bigger. This is still going to take longer than I wanted to. I don't use mirror a lot. Kind of just, all right, this is easier. Going to, not that. Get rid of all this. Okay, then we have just this ad. And I'm going to drag it up here, do this, and then I'm going to screenshot it and save it to my computer. Actually, I'm not going to save it to my computer. I'm going to go straight to Canva. We're going to turn this into a 4x5, by the way, because it's my favorite ad format. We don't actually need all this space, luckily, because this kind of ad is just very straight to the point. I know it's blurry. We're going to make it 4K, don't worry. But let's just get a very nice visual here. So I already understand I want to have all the text up top, barely any down below. All right, so I'm going to put it about right here because I know I want to have a CTA down below. Now, this is stuff you guys have to figure out before you start generating images. What do you want to be on the ad? This will help us with the prompt and everything like that. So I'm going to go and remove all the text because we just want a direct replacement here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and download this image right here. And this quality is fine for now. I'm going to go into Kai AI. I'm going to do text to image, and I'm going to do Nana Pro right here. I'm gonna erase this, and then we're going to import both images in. So we have our replacement product, pretend this is yours, and then we have this reference photo that we want to have just like this. I'm going to talk to it like a human. I'm just going to say, check out the first image. I want to do a direct replacement of the product in the first image with my product in the second reference image. Please replace the two products in the first shot with my product in the second shot. And then is there any kind of, do they have like a spoon or something? No, not really. Okay. So we'll just say, instead of the white tablets shown in the first photo, replace them with dark green capsules. Also change the blue background to a light green to match my product, but keep the floor white. Aspect ratio 4:5, so it just maintains the space at the top. I'll do 2K for the video, not gonna do 4K, but we don't want it to be too blurry, and we're gonna let it generate our photo. All right, and it has generated us a large and small seed bottle. So we'll rock with this. I'm gonna go ahead and download this, or can I just copy it? I'm just gonna copy it and go ahead and paste it in here. And we should have the same space on the top and bottom once it fully loads, just like that. Really cool, right? So now we have our visual. What in the world do we do for copy? When it comes to copy, you have options. You could either use the same kind of style copy that the original ad had, if it's in your niche and if you know it's doing well, why not? Or we could find a brand like, so I'm just gonna look up supplement and search. We could find a brand closer to us, a large brand. So let's say Tenova, sure. And we can check out, go to the brand tracker, their best ad copy. And we could just get some inspiration from here, or their headlines, or their hooks and scripts, which looks like they don't have any right now, but headlines and copies we could kind of copy. Now, I think for this particular static, we're just going to be using the same general idea that this brand had. It's very simple, so we can just replicate it. It calls out the problem, and then it educates on who they are and what they do. Now, for coming up with ad copy, you can use any AI you want, Claude, GPT, whatever. I will be using AI. It is not an AI that you guys can access right now because, drum roll, it's my own software that I'm literally developing myself. So I'm going to be using it because it's awesome and I made it, but you guys cannot use it because it's not publicly available yet. So you can watch me, but you can't use it. You could use Claude for something like this. In the meantime, this is better than Claude, but unfortunately not publicly available. So we're going to add our quote unquote brand seed, which is going to be in the health niche. And then for our homepage domain, it's literally just seed.com. So seed.com. And our brand is logged. And then we're going to go to the ad library, which right now is empty because I've yet to upload my creatives or visuals. So all I'm going to do here is just upload my visual right here. Now it is uploaded into the ad library, and I'm going to go to the actual AI agent here. I'm going to activate my workspace, which is a fully interactive AI workspace. It can read and see everything here just like you can, and it's about to get really freaky cool. But I don't know, I'm advertising to you guys like it's available. It isn't right now, but it will be in the future. So we're going to go ahead and drag our visual over here. And what I'm going to do is come with some copy prompts for it. So the niche here, it is in the health niche. My product page, I'm just going to do seed.com so I can pull from the homepage. Angle pain point. So let's do a bit of research on seed here. So it's a daily symbiotic. We'll just go ahead and copy this. We can choose this. Prompt purpose. I need a super short 1 sentence. I'll do 5-word hook for a static ad, then a static ad calling out the pain point. Then a small 2-sentence subtext on how we help. All right, and I don't know if you guys can see this because of my webcam. I think you can. But what book or resource do you want it to pull rules from? So obviously top is breakthrough advertising. I'll do this one, and then research. We're just going to go ahead and select every single platform, Twitter, Quora, Trustpilot, Reddit, and then we're going to drag it together like a puzzle. So niche, product, then angle from pain point, angle or pain point, prompt purpose, books or resources can go here, and then the research goes here, put it all together. And now we have our perfect prompt cube. We're now going to generate the copy, and just being here helps it kind of see better. So generate copy, we're going to give it a second, and it's going to spit us out some copy that we can use for the ad. All right, so hook, go ahead and copy this. We're going to use this on our ad with a font like Poppins. I love Poppins. Gonna go ahead and color match it, which again, I really am never a fan of black and white. I pick the shade that is on the photo, and then if I want to make it light, I'll make it really light, but never truly white. I'll always go with like a slight off-white color like this. Always just looks so much better. I'll make this one line right here. And then as far as subtext goes, let's see what it spits out here. All right, cool, that works. Go ahead and, no, didn't work. All right, boom, get rid of the bold. Make this smaller. And get it centered. Not sure what's refusing me center. I guess this is counted as centering, but again, let's follow some rules here. So can anybody in the class tell me what's wrong with this? Now that you have your special pair of sunglasses on, what is wrong with this? Well, let me tell you, there's more space here than there is here. The reason it looks off in your head is because this is close enough to the product where this should be centered. Now we have two options. We can either make it so that it's more centered, kind of like this, and now it looks better, or we could drag this up so far that it's not disconnected from the product, and this can be up here and it just makes sense. We could also do things like drag this here, and add a little background effect on this. We could make the background the same dark green as like this, but then have this here. This looks a little more native, like somebody on Facebook could just post, like just this kind of effect. Not a huge fan of that though. Just having something like this. This is a very basic example, but literally something like this is so fundamentally correct. If you're brand new to making static ads, this is a foolproof way to make a fundamentally proper static ad every single time. There's so many sirens outside of my window right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this is how to make a fundamentally correct static ad where your eyes don't look at it and go, there's something wrong with this. You know what I mean? You could also add a call to action button here. So try us now. I'll do try a seat 50% off. And then I like importing a little right hand arrow. And then you could do a container like this. That's kind of an ugly green, but CT at the bottom. And now when you see an ad like this, you can make an ad like this and feel good about it. So that is the psychology behind a static ad, and something I feel like I gotta show you guys. Just it uncorrelated but really cool. If I were to have a visual like this and just have it in here, I could ask it, you know, how do I, if I didn't know how to make this better, if you run into a situation where you're like, I know this looks bad, but I don't know why, you can get a brutal opinion. You can ask it, let's say this is a winning ad, and you're like, I need to iterate on this. You can click iterate. It's going to show you, it's going to break this ad down element by element and show you how to iterate on it. And then if you don't know it's compliant, you're worried about your CPM, you can check the compliance. But if you want to like a brutal opinion, it's going to put out a little dot here. It's going to come up, review the ad. And after this little guy is done checking the ad out and giving his brutal opinion on it, it's going to fly back into the chat bar and give us an opinion here. So wasted real estate. As you can see, we haven't had the text yet, obviously, but it would, it helps you out. You know, the bot's not done, so this is just like default Claude right now, but it's going to be fully trained on my YouTube transcription SOP, which is very extensive. If you're in a coaching program, you know the SOP is huge. So this is the default bot, but it still gives Claude answers, which is pretty good. But pretty sick thing here. You'd add more than one, you build a little constellation, you know, because you're in space. But I'm right now, this is on me. I've dev'd all of this out on my own. It's been pretty time consuming, but yeah, just thought I'd show you guys. It's a cool project of mine. By the way, the software that you guys see now, which is far from done, so expect it to look different in the time that it gets released, is going to be huge. It's going to have a ton of features. It's going to be replacing my one-on-one coaching that I've been doing for 2 years now. So if you want to work with me one-on-one and you've been thinking about it for a very long time, you're not going to have much more of a window of opportunity. This is kind of the last month or two that I'm doing this before I switch into something different, focus more on my ecom stuff, and launch an idea like this that I've been working on in my head for a long time. So one of the links in the description will have a link. You can go apply there. I have an ROI guarantee, meaning if you do not make your full investment back within 2 months of working with me, I will work with you for completely free until you do. That is the full video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it helped you out a lot. Have a good day or night wherever you're from, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.